Good morning, everybody. I hope that you guys are all well. And basically, the goal of this webinar is just, it's not the most exciting webinar, but it's basically just to just show you guys how to be able to do the new morning webinars, because from next week, they will be on our IOPSA Training.co.za. So I'm sure you guys have heard about it by now, but the IOPSA Training e-learning platform, which is just, let me just get the laser pointer. See here, IOPSA Training.co.za. This is where you can buy some courses. I know PIRB is having their induction course through IOPSA Training as well. And we're now doing, well, our IOPSA will be doing the morning webinars through IOPSA Training.co.za. So the way that you logged on this morning, where you got your reminder email and you clicked on the link, that will be the last time. Today was the last time for Toolbox Talks that you are going to watch the morning webinar that way. So I'm basically just going to take you through the process on how to, very quickly, let's actually go over, here we go. So basically there's just 4 things we'll be going through. So logging in and signing up, which I know a lot of you guys have already done. So I'm going to just quickly go through logging in and signing up, then enrolling in the morning webinars, how you do that on the site, how you watch the morning webinars, the live webinars, and then lastly, how you can watch the recorded webinars. Okay, cool. Let's get started. So like I said, step 1 is logging in and signing up. So I'm going to just go through this part quickly because I think most of you guys know how to do it. And if this is something you struggle with, then just watch the YouTube video on our IOPSA's YouTube channel, or you can come back on Thursday and watch the webinar again. So it's obviously you can either type in www.iopsatraining.co.za, or you can just type in iopsatraining.co.za into whatever browser you use. It'll bring you to this page. You're going to click on sign up to sign up for IOPSA training. And then the details that they're going to ask you for is a username, an email address, a password, a first name, a last name. So just quickly, it's important that you put in, obviously, it's important that you put in the correct email address because you'll see just now, in order to activate your account, you need to receive an email. And if we send out any types of emails to you, so if we want to email you a certificate, or if we want to get into contact with you, then we need you to have had the correct email address. And if you if you forget your password or whatever, when you click the forget password button, it sends it to your email address. So just make sure you put in your email address correctly, and then to put in your first name, your last name, and your PIRB registration number correctly. And the reason that this is important is number 1, sorry, you'll see specifically with the morning webinars, if you watch the recorded version, I'll get to the process down the line, but basically the way that you'll earn your CPD points is by making sure that this registration number is correct. And on any course that you do on our IOPSA training, your certificate is automatically generated when you pass the test or the assignment or whatever you need to do in order to complete the course. And it automatically generates the certificate with whatever first name, last name, and registration number you put in. So if you spell your name wrong or you put the wrong name in, then whatever happens to be, whatever you've put in on the sign up page is going to be in the certificate. Okay, so we have the sign up page. Just quickly over here, you'll see it says choose a password, and you can see I've just put in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the system detects this as a weak or a very weak password in this case. So you just need to make sure that you're more than welcome to use a weak password if you want. You just have to then make sure that you tick this button here, confirm use of weak password. Okay, and then after this is still the same sign up sheet, and then when you are finished, you just tick on the here that you've agreed to the site's privacy policy, and you click on complete sign up. Okay. So once you've completed sign up, it'll give you this little notification. It says here you've successfully created your account. To begin using the site, you will need to activate your the biggest questions we get on support at our IOPSA training of your account. So when you receive the activation email, okay, it looks like this. So it says IOPSA training, activate your account. In my case, it says hi Victoria, but in your case, it will say hi, whatever you've put your first name as. But what I need you guys to do, importantly, is to always check your spam or your junk mail. For me, it came directly into my inbox, but that's because I work with IOPSA training a lot, so my PC doesn't recognize the email address as spam. But if it's the first time that your PC or that you're signing up with IOPSA training, chances are your PC will recognize the email as spam. So obviously go check in your inbox, and if after 2-3 minutes you can't find it in your inbox, then go and check in your spam. And if you can't find it in your your spam folder, your junk folder, it should be in there. If it's not, if you can't find it in your spam or your junk or in your regular inbox, training, and then we'll see how we can help you out. Okay. So this is now, so let's say now you found the email, you're going to click on the email. This is what the email looks like. It says there, hi Victoria, thanks for registering. To complete the activation of your account, go to the following link. So you literally just have to click on the link. If for whatever reason clicking isn't working on it, you can then just copy and paste the link into whatever browser you're using. But you literally just have to click on the link, and then it's going to take you to this page here. And again, this activation key will automatically be filled in for you. And then all you have to do is click activate. And then one of the questions we've also been getting quite a lot on our IOPSA training is with regards to, the site is saying that it's an invalid activation key or something like that. If that is happening, chances are your account has more than likely been activated. So if you've come here, if you've clicked on the link from your email, this automatically fills in, you click activate, and it doesn't then say to you, yeah, your account's been activated. If it says to you, sorry, invalid activation account or invalid activation key, sorry, just go log in. Just log in with your email address and your password and see if you can get into the site. Again, if that's not working, then you're more than welcome to email us and then we'll try help you out. Okay, so once you've clicked activate, then here it says your account has been activated. You can now log in with your username and password. And your username can be your username or your email address when you log in. Either one is fine. So you can click on login or you can click on sign up over here. And there we go. So you can either add in your username, the one you created, or your email address. I like using my email address because it's easier for me to remember. Your password, and then if you obviously click remember me, then you don't have to constantly be logging. You don't have to constantly put your details in. It will just remember you when you go to the site. Okay, and then again, if you have for whatever reason forgotten your password, you can click on the forgot password button and just follow the prompts. And then again, always check your spam and your junk mailboxes, because like I said, a lot of the time, because your PC doesn't, it's new to the email address support@iopsatraining.co.za, often it chucks it into your spam or your junk mail. So just go check for the forgot password email in there. Okay, cool. So that was signing up. I think most of you guys know, most of you guys have got that down, the signing up and the signing in. So yeah, okay, cool. Next step, and there's also a couple of you guys who have already done this step, which is enrolling in the webinars. Okay, so once you've logged in, the page automatically takes you to something that looks like this. This is actually on my courses. You'll see there, it's on my courses. So if you've bought any other courses on our IOPSA training, you will find them all in here. but in this case, you're going to click on all courses because we're going to go and try and find the morning webinars. So here we're on the all courses page, and then all you have to do is you need to scroll down, and once you scroll down, you'll find these three over here. So we got the one that we're doing today, Toolbox Talks, we got Business, and we got Tech Talks. So you're more than welcome to enroll in all three of them, or only one of them, or one or two of them, or however you want. The process to enroll in them is exactly the same. So I'm going to kind of like follow, I'm just going to do Business. So whether you are following the process to enroll for Business or Toolbox Talks or Tech Talks, it is exactly the same. And like I said, you can enroll in one of them, or you can enroll in like just Business and Tech Talks, or yeah, Business and Tech Talks, or however you want. Okay, so what you have to do is the very first step to enroll in the morning webinar now is you're going to click on View Course Online. Okay, once you click on View Course Online, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. So if you actually, I can't scroll down now because it's just a screenshot. But if you scroll down, okay, I'll show you now what happens when you scroll down. But basically, you'll see here's this little bar. It says the current status is that you are not enrolled, that the price is free, and then it says to get started, you click on buy this course now. So this is the button that you click. I know it uses the word buy, but because the course is for free, you won't be buying anything. You don't go through any kind of payment portal, nothing like that. You literally just have to click on this button, the buy this course now, and then you'll see this bar appears, and there you go, you've enrolled in the morning webinar. It's as easy as that. So I'll just show that again. You go find the morning webinar that you'd like to enroll in. You can even, there's a search button, it's hiding behind there because my screen was a bit squished, but there's a search button, so you can search for the View Course Online. You'll see there's this little bar here, and you literally just click on buy this course now. And there you go. You have enrolled in basically the course, for lack of better words, of specifically in this case Business 101, but again, it's exactly the same for all three webinars. Okay, so if you scroll down, you'll see here the webinars for February have been set up. It says here, it'll tell you here this webinar will begin on 1 February 2021 at 7 a.m. And then you'll see here it says available on January 31, 2021 at 7 a.m. So if you try and click on any of these webinars here, on any of these 4 webinars, you won't become available 24 hours before the webinar opens. So you'll see here, this one, the webinar begins on 8 February at 7 a.m. and it becomes available on the 7th of February at 7 a.m. Okay, so only 24 hours before the webinar happens will you be able to click in it. So basically, yeah, so if we go to step 3, which is watching the live webinars, you'll see here, this happened to be then 24 hours before the webinar began, which is why there's no little button 2021, because in this case, I told the system that it was the 31st of January. So then it lets you click into it. And then once you click into it, it looks like this. Okay, so you can see here, it's all the webinars for February, and then you'll see this little countdown here. Okay, so depending on when you go in, obviously if you go in exactly at 7 a.m. the next day, it's going to say 24 hours until the webinar, and the countdown is going to run, so you can't do anything until the countdown is finished, but you can just come see how long it is till the webinar begins. So this countdown will actually end at 6:45. So the countdown will end 15 minutes before the webinar starts. Okay, and you'll see now why, but my suggestion is that you log in between, obviously the earliest you can log in is 1:45, But you log in quarter to 10 to 5 to quarter to, in the beginning until you're really comfortable with all the steps, just to make sure that you can get in. But yeah, as soon as the countdown gets down to 0, it should automatically reload. If for whatever reason it's not automatically reloading, you can see here, you're not redirected after the countdown, click here, and it will just reload the page for you. And then a page that looks like this will come up. So your name should be auto-filled in it. If your name does not auto-fill, then you just put your name in. And then you're going to click this button here, join via web. Now remember, you are doing this at, let's say you're wanting to watch Business 101 next week, Monday, which is the 1st of February. Then you're coming on the 1st of February at 7:45. You'll see this countdown will be at 0. You'll be able to click join via web. Yeah, so you're going to click join via web, then it's going to give you this page, okay? And then you'll see here is the register button. So basically this step here is what we, or the PIRB needs rather, in order to get your PIRB registration number to give you guys your CPD points. So normally how you guys have been doing it is after the webinar, you have to complete that survey to put your reg number in. But I know sometimes guys forget or, like weird things happen and, it doesn't let you fill in the survey or whatever. And then, it's a bit of a struggle to get your CPD points because PIRB does not have your registration number. So in this instance, meaning that you have to give your registration number first. Okay, so you'll see here, you literally click on this button that says register, and then this little pop-up will come, and you will put here your first name, your last name, your email address, and your PIRB registration number. So this here is where, this is obviously quite important because this is where PIRB, so basically at our IOPSA training, we are going to pull the report after the webinar, and then this is where your registration number will be. So if you've watched the live webinar, then we're going to pull that report. You would have entered your registration number in here, and we are going to send it off to PIRB so that they can allocate you your CPD points. Okay, and you're going to click register, and the page is going to look like this. So if you register, if you are registering, but if you are logging into this webinar before the webinar has begun, so before the organizers, so Academo Jacques, have started the webinar, then it's going to look like this. So it's going to say waiting. And as soon as the webinar has been started, you'll see this little join button will appear. Okay, so if you have done this after they have started the webinar, it won't appear, it'll immediately be a join button. Okay, and then you click on join. Okay, cool. So now we have the screen here viewing the webinar. So instead of you watching the webinar however you're watching it now, it's going to look like this. Then you'll see here, sorry, let me come here. There's the little raise hand button like you guys have. And there is this is here, the question button. So if you have any questions, you're going to ask them in here. And if you need to raise your hand for whatever reason, you are going to raise your hand here. This is just a poll, and this was just, I wanted to show you sometimes your screen, depending on how big your screen is, you might have an issue like this. You'll see that it's a little bit difficult to get to the buttons. So you just click on this button here to maximize it. And then here you can go yes, no, and then you'll see all the buttons are very easy to click once you have maximized the screen. Okay, you can minimize it again. Yeah, you can minimize it again. And then here you'll see when the webinar has eventually been ended, it'll just give you this little pop-up that says the webinar has been ended. Okay, cool. So that's literally how you're watching the live webinars. You don't have to submit. If you've watched the live webinar, we will pull the attendance report from Zoom. So Zoom will then, because you might have seen, but we're using Zoom now instead of GoToWebinar. So we're going to pull the attendance report from Zoom. So it's going to tell us how long you were in the session for, if you watched the whole session, and it will have your PIRB registration number there. And then PIRB will automatically allocate your CPD points to you. So if you watch the live session, you don't have to do anything when it comes to your own CPD points. Okay. Then we have watching the recorded webinar. So let's say you missed the live session. You know, whatever happened. You know, you didn't wake up in time, or there was load shedding, and your internet wasn't working, or maybe you just prefer watching the recorded webinars. Then what you can do is you can come back later on in the day. So what happens is the videos are edited and then they are uploaded to IOPSA's YouTube channel, but then they will also be put here in the LMS. So you literally come back to the same module. You'll see here it says 1 February 2021. It is the same module as previously where you watched the webinar. It's just we've changed. And then you'll see here there's a little thing that says test. Okay, so remember, if you do a recording, if you watch the live session, you automatically get your CPD points. If you watch the recorded session, you have to do the test and pass the test, and I'm pretty sure the pass mark is 65%, but you have to pass the test in order to get your CPD points. So in this case, you would watch this video, then you would click on, you can click on this mark complete button. It will take you to the test. You will do the test and you will hopefully pass the test. You can do it as many times, the test as many times as you need to in order to pass it. It's a very small test. I think they generally have like 5 questions in them or something. So it's not anything difficult. It's basically just to make sure that you have watched the video. But once you've passed the test, you will get there's like a little pop-up that will come up and it will say print certificate. So it doesn't actually print the certificate, it just downloads the certificate. So make sure that you click on print the certificate, and then it will bring this up, which you can then download and save. So it will have whatever your name is, whichever webinar you just watched, and the test you just did for it, the date you did it on, and your PIRB registration number as well. And then in this case, it is your responsibility to submit this to PIRB. So I think you can do it on the audited system. So you can just, once you've clicked download, you can just take a photo or screenshot here, this certificate, and then you can upload it to the audited system so that you can be awarded your CPD points. So again, if you watch the live webinar, you will automatically get your registration points allocated to you. But if you watch the recorded webinar and do the test, then you will receive the certificate, and the certificate is basically your proof that you've watched it and passed the test, and then you will upload this to the audited system in order to get your CPD points. Okay, then just here, now remember, and your reg number correct, otherwise your certificate is going to be wrong. Let's say you've already signed up and something happened, or you know there's some kind of an issue or whatever, then you can come and check your name, your surname, and your reg number. So you look on the top navigation bar, you'll see here's my profile, and here it says edit profile. You click on edit profile, and then you'll see here's my name, my surname, and my registration number. So if you get your certificate and it looks weird, then just come check here first. Just make sure your name, your surname, and your registration number is correct, and then you'll see down at the bottom it says save. The certificate won't be generated again. So if you do get a certificate with wrong information, come onto your profile, change your information so that every other certificate is correct, but then just drop us an email so that we can regenerate your certificate for you, because it doesn't automatically do it. And then just on that as well, we are working on, it hasn't been finalized yet, but we're working on some sort of like reminder email situation. So hopefully, I'm not promising anything, but we are working really hard on it so that there will be a reminder email to you the day before. So again, it'll just say, there's no link that you have to click on. So it's not like you have to find a link, it's just you'll have to log into your profile and go to the morning webinar and then follow the process that I showed you this morning. And then we're also just working on getting emails out for certificates. So like I said, remember that bar pops up and it says print certificates. If you don't click print certificate, which just basically means download certificate, if you don't click that button to download your certificates, then your certificates, then you have to email us in order, then we have to go through the back end to find your certificate for you. So we are working on a process to get the certificates emailed as well, but like I said, the email situation at the moment, it doesn't exist at the moment, so we're just trying to get the site to be okay with emails. Yeah, so that's basically it. Also, just one extra thing, for next week, the site IOPSA Training has never had so many people on it at once, because I mean, at the moment, there's what, 230 of you guys here. So when 230 people are trying to log onto a site all at once, it's just, IOPSA Training has never experienced traffic like that. I mean, we've had like maybe 60 people on at the same time, but never 230 watching a live session. So there might be some issues next week, but we will be on, our support team will be here and our developers are here to make sure that everything will go as smoothly as possible. But if there are some issues, like I said, we're all, you guys are new at it, the site is new at it, so we'll just see how things go next week, and as issues come up, we will try and get to them all and sort them all out. So don't stress too much if next week doesn't go perfectly, or if you're having some kind of issues. It's a new process for all of us, so we're just gonna, there might be some teething problems. Yeah, so we just need to give ourselves some time to, for mostly, like you guys, but also us. Like I said, the site has never experienced so many people on it all at once. And until it experiences so many people all at once, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen on the site. But we are doing what we can to prepare for it. Thank you so much.